Okay, and we are live. So hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Today is our last session for the month of April. These ladies have gone through the six coaching sessions, various topics. We've had family balance, we've had values, we've had value proposition, and lots more. So thank you for being consistent. Thank you for all that you've learned, because we know that you're going to practice this and your business will grow and get better. So today we'll be talking about marketing, and we have our coach here with us, Steve South. So thank you, Steve, for joining. Thank you for
Happy to be here.
Yes, thank you so much. So Steve will take you through marketing, what it means, how and ways you can practice marketing so you can spread the word about your business. Yeah. Emma, please go ahead and introduce yourself, because you're meeting Steve for the very first time, and then also introduce ladies, their business, and then Steve can go ahead and tell us about himself, and then he can
Sure.
begin.
That's a great place to start. So who do we have there?
Yeah. So Emma, go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. Hi, Steve. So my name is Emma Charity Nkoma.
Emma.
I'll be your interpreter today. I'm the business lead trainer for the women. So I teach them during boot camps. Then during coaching session, I'm here to translate what you say in the local language that they are able to understand. So with me, we have here Evelyn, and she sells rice as well as dry beans. And we also have Telesa Nampasa. She has a salon. And we also have Brenda at the far end. She sells chicken, broilers. And we also have another Telesa Batwalia. She sells food spices. So for now, we only have 4 women, and others will come through, but altogether we're 10. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Emma.
Who's the little one in the back?
This one is Telesa
The
Walia.
baby. The baby. Who's the baby?
Oh, the one with the baby. Mary, come and
There we go.
say.
Hi.
So the baby is
She
Mary.
wanted to be up front. I think Mary.
Mary, say hi.
Hi, Mary. This is all about you. This is all about you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Steve. So yes, you can go ahead and tell us about yourself,
Okay,
the
let me
business, and all of that. Then you can begin.
share my screen.
Yes, sure, no problem.
See if I can pull this off. Do you see that?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yes.
So this is my first time, so go easy on me.
Sure.
But just what I thought I'd do pretty quickly is, obviously we did some introductions. I'll introduce myself here on the next screen. I'll talk a little bit about marketing, right? As you go through your business lives, you'll hear a lot of different information about marketing. So I didn't get very technical. I tried to keep it more practical. But I'll talk a little bit about marketing. And marketing is about collecting data and collecting information. And you can even do that with your businesses today. We'll talk a little bit about how do you collect data to have better marketing. I'll talk about that. And I know you've talked about value propositions, but we'll bring that back around again and talk about how your differences and your value propositions factor into your marketing. And then kind of bring it all together and talk about how do you actually put together a marketing campaign. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I lost my picture here. Okay. So again, my name's Steve South. I'm in Florida. I'm in the United States in Florida. I live in Central Florida, which is, I live in Orlando. Business has been my career. You know, I've been, I got my undergraduate degree at university, I got that in business and marketing and management. I went on and got a master's degree, an advanced degree in business and the MBA. And I've spent my entire career in some form or another in business. Most of the time, it's been some form of a marketing or sales role. Most of my marketing was more working with business to business kind of solutions. But I've been in marketing and sales and executive management roles most of my life. And today, I work as a business coach. So this is what I do. I work with small business owners throughout Florida of all types. I work with small business owners that are selling to the government, selling to the United States government. I work with business owners that are doing landscaping, food distributors like yourselves, farmers. I work with all types of businesses because there is no matter what you're doing in business, there is a certain repeatable best practice that applies in a lot of businesses. I tell my clients all the time, I can't do what you do, but I can help you run your business because there are certain tried and true best practices.
All right, thank you. Let me just translate that. Okay. So when the question when we keep something, like breathe. So when the silence you are waiting in but most of my business for time. So the business coaching, you are like what business. So when that see, so that's for the job collect information. If you feel like so foolish to want to so then I put Mabu, Babumbana and Kabab and Nava, but my business to government here USA, just like in a book, more like ship. All right, thank you.
Sure. Just for the record, I lost my video of seeing you all. So I can't get it back, but so that's my introduction. And now we'll talk a little bit about what is marketing. I tend to define marketing as your pathway to a customer. Ultimately, if you're in business, you're trying to get that customer. You're trying to get a person that wants to buy, wants to give you money for whatever good or service that you provide. That's the goal. That's what you're trying to do. You're not trying to do marketing, but marketing becomes a tool to help you get to that customer. Because when you make that customer connection, that's the end of a journey. They buying from you because they've connected with you in some way. Maybe they've never even talked to you, but they've connected to you. Maybe it's a sign that they saw. Maybe it's the display that they've seen. There's some reason why they've connected to you. And marketing is about trying to create that. I call it repeatable best practices. Learning what works, going back and trying to create a process of repeatable best practices that get you to that sale, to get you to that customer. Does that make sense?
Yes. All right, thank you. So, but then that's it. Well, marketing engagement ni share products we're reaching them customer. Customer the market. So when that's it. Marketing to one that's need to earn. Yeah, abantu bayishiba from relationship. It's like a relationship in the Mukika that is abantu bayishiba. But she also the one to be shiba to make sure from Mara officially marketing. Thank you.
Okay. Are you still seeing my slides? Are you still seeing a slide?
No, we are seeing a Zoom.
You're seeing a Zoom. Sorry. Hang on. My bad.
Okay.
I am going to stop share and I'm going to reshare. I can't get it on the. You're still seeing my Google slides, aren't you? My Google screen. I'm so sorry. Hang on.
Fine. We're able to see the screen now.
You're able to see the slides? Okay, good.
Yes.
My bad. I'm going to go back to where I'm supposed to be. And this is where, so now you're seeing marketing is making a connection. Marketing is sharing. Okay. So again, marketing it's a journey. You know, the customer transaction is at the end of a journey because you've made a connection in some way. Now, again, that connection doesn't need to be you've talking to them. Maybe you've never even talked to them, but again, they've connected. They've connected because maybe they liked your signage, or they liked your smile, or they liked the way your product was displayed. You've made a connection with them in some way. Marketing is sometimes sharing your story. They know who you are. They know that you're working to feed your family. They know your family history in some way. Maybe it's because you talked to them and shared it. Maybe there's a sign in your store that tells your story, but people connect to a story. So marketing can be sharing your story. It can be developing relationship. Maybe you do have multiple interactions with people. Maybe they come and they ask you questions and they like the way that you answer those questions. Maybe they come back again. Maybe they don't buy right away. They come back and buy, but every time they interact with you, you're patient with them and they're developing a relationship. They get to know you and like you. So that can be part of marketing, but ultimately, again, marketing is making a customer. Is that good? You want me to stop there?
Yes, please. Okay, so bakambati marketing so marketing ni connection. So connection kwa basi bantu muendera naye. Imomuto cyane mwana ke muendera na especially mwana kwa tamasaidia kwa basi ngina atanta bali. But because ningi na mwika na pala samana sa ukabale mwika friendly ndio ni so nishani connection. Imwana kwa basi ni story. Marketing basi ni story. Imwana bafanya kuisupport komanda kwa bashani na story. For example, kwa social media influencers again, but some introduction is country because he story again. So to mkonkromanda kwa what story. You rather mwakiliena than in social story. Yeah. Then something about the developing relationship. Umuntu kongasanga na imwe ero nombufu mwachita relate na nkunga kya mufisha abana ama friends. It's another way of marketing. The way much the shine, much the relates. Then, yeah, it's the customer very important to post a thing of extra company. Gaya post the rest of the company. The rest of the banana connected. I asked them about a reflection to try it. Thank you.
You make what I say sound so beautiful. So
thank you.
So when we talk about how do we, tools, what kind of tools can we create that are practical that maybe the ladies there could start implementing and thinking about in terms of marketing? And maybe they're doing some of these things and we can talk about that, but signage, a sign, the sign over your door, what's it say about you? Is it clear? Does it say what you do? Is it well maintained? Is it well lit if it needs to be? Is it, does the signage on your door express your brand the way you want to? When you come into the store, is there signage that maybe explains what what you've got. Here's a list of our products, or here's some features or some quality attributes of what we're doing here. Signage can help tell your story, and it's not expensive. We're not talking big fancy signage. It can be something that's handwritten neatly. It can be hand painted, but just sometimes signage tells your story. Pictures, a sign that includes maybe a picture of your family. That's, this is my why. This is why I do what I do. That can all help tell your story. Displays, the same kind of thing. If you're selling particularly food items like the rice and the chicken and the food spices, sometimes people like to see that in well lit, very bright lights. Some people I know will, if you're selling vegetables or something like that, they'll spray them with water and keep them wet because the glistening is part of the marketing. It makes it look more attractive. So those kind of display things can be part of your marketing. Creating a little bit of a sense of scarcity. Some people on their display will pile it high and say, look at how much I have to sell. Other people might take the approach of, I'm going to keep only a little bit on the table because it looks like I'm running out. It looks like, if you don't act now, you might miss out. So you can't wait till you come home from work. You've got to buy it now. So there's different approaches to the way you can use your displays. Flyers, you can have, again, a piece of paper that you hand out to people, or you ask other business owners to put in their windows, and maybe you use displays, their flyers, but you can use flyers. Maybe you have business cards or something like that, a little piece of paper that has, hey, give me a call or stop by my house if you have questions. Even something as simple as housekeeping. If somebody walks into your building, is it clean? Is it organized? Is it cluttered? That tells your story. That creates a brand that says, hey, this person's on top of it. I know they're taking care of my product. I know they're taking care of that food because their building is well maintained, or their area is well maintained. So even something as simple as that can help tell your brand. They never even buy from you. They never talk to you, right? But they can tell from your signage, from your housekeeping, your organization, you're making a connection. You're telling them a story, right? How you're dressed. If it's a kind of business where, people like, they're expecting you to be a little more formal, maybe you dress a little more formally. But if it's kind of business where people want you to be more relaxed and casual, maybe you're more relaxed and casual, right? If they're expecting formal and you're dressed casually, that could create a confusion, and confusion is never good marketing. Something as simple as name tags on your employees. Hi, my name is Steve, right? That creates a connection. Samples where you can, sometimes samples can create a connection. Hey, test my quality. Get a sense of how I'm doing. Information. Instead of just having a tray of vegetables, maybe you have a little bit of information that says where those vegetables came from, what part of the country they came from, what farmer they came from. Give some information about it. And then again, your story, your family picture hanging on the wall, your wife, Mary's picture on the wall that says, this is why I do what I do, right? People connect with that. And then there's a lot of other things that maybe you could do, but just to start getting the sense that marketing is it's everything you do to try and get the customer to connect with you. That makes sense?
Thank you. Yes. So rather than that, the potential marketing today, people bring up also what's question today. So it's number one that's the same thing. I must say, so the team was in the mix. Even as simple as writing one paper, write for sale, when you can apply somewhere. Someone would have someone and write for sale. Why saying? So I'm saying, get a bombasana, only direction. Being the what's going to put to up, but Pano, para be quite. But in the topic, and about sign, Pera sign, and moon such a tiny. So imagine if you show abantu na special but now because science but back to direction ko yaliza. Icha number 2. Amakala amakhala afuna nkutosha display limukula bati kola amakhala yako bati yaralanda pakumbweke. For example, in the restaurant or restaurant, black shoe. At least if you have a color yako bati yamoneka kupino nine. Then I'm a flyers that are very expensive channel. I'm that check a paper that she print out again. Mama, I'm a driver. I'm a driving school. Lots of people are driving school. It's more flyers. Let's say one day you come with money and the rights for the phone number and location. What you can find that sleep. What is that? Because I want to especially about for more employment. So what is there mine? But it can now come flyers, someone can know. Then a business card, them a business card. Came up and I'm talking to the team, and I'm going for my location in one to one pair. Then so housekeeping. Plus, here, no relationship. See, I use the market against the market. For example, especially for a mama food industry, I'm a spices, getting the independent cook, shisha, shadow, but we don't sound for me that I would have never go there. Then again, if you're foil, just the determination, breast market. Para sucia, die. So, one para you put the then name tags in. You must check from my restaurants. Restaurants bring up and coming up some today. For the shop for feet. The more is a step now, open job and right. Well, the wish me the food over. Let's be no people from the work. I am a sample then. Rising plastic black and so that I want to Baba motivated to try again information. We should get information. Products here, you need this so but I want to make people then here last one that is story. Oh no, it's not the last one, but story. You want to share if you find me with check the market about now want to encourage so okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So those are some of the tools, right? Those are some of the, just like you're building a house, those are some of the tools. But how do you make those tools better? How do you get the information necessary to keep improving and making those tools better? And you do that with information. You do that with collecting data. And here in the States, data collection can include the internet, and it include a lot of internet research. There's a lot of things you can do to collect data and learn about your customer. But I just, some of the information you can learn from your customer that might be useful is, do they shop alone? When they make a purchase, are they usually by themselves, or do they have their spouse with them? Or when they make a purchase, do they have their children with them, right? Because children can be a real influencer on whether or not a parent purchases something or how much they purchase. Observe those things. What time of day do they buy the most? Do you find that most of your sales are happening in midday or later in the day? And so maybe that means you can do some sales or some promotions to get people to come in earlier. Maybe it means you can do your inventory and administrative things earlier in the day. But learning when your customer comes can be valuable marketing information. What comments do they make? Pay attention to even while they're walking around the store. What are they saying? Don't ignore that. Collect what the comments that they're saying. And then, well, obviously we can talk some more about, but there's other things you can learn about your customers just by observing them and paying attention to them.
All right, thank you. So, that's it. So, number fish doing that papa wish you so the child very important to paying attention to my customers. But customer ngawai substitute balelanda. Mathis show bashita sana. Mathis show bashita sana. Bashita na. So it's important to understand that I let your customers more and this is a very important but it means so that much to provide the question if you more you reach out to them and move to that are like them. Thank you.
Sure. That was shorter.
Yes.
And like I said, there's a lot of different ways to collect information from a client, but the two I wanted to just highlight today are one, like I said, you can observe them, you can watch them. What are they wearing? What time of day do they show up? Are they alone? They're just by watching what they do, but also ask them, talk to them. A lot of people will have, I call it friendly banter with a customer, but there's also kind of an intentional conversation you can have with a customer. When they check out, you can ask them questions, even as simple as, did you find everything you were looking for today? Or maybe they're buying a shirt and you can say to them, would you like to buy a pair of pants to go with that? Or boy, this color pants looks great with that. So there's an intentional kind of conversation you can have with your customers that can help support your marketing. Maybe you even have a survey of some kind where, you might say to a customer, do you have another 5 minutes? I'd love to take you off to the side and ask you 5 questions about your experience here today. Don't be afraid to try those kind of things and see what they say. Both customers that buy and a customer that doesn't buy. Maybe a customer that doesn't buy, you could say, before you leave the store, here's a coupon for 10% off or 5% off if you come back. But I'd love to just get your thoughts of why you didn't buy something today, right? So don't be afraid to intentionally engage with your customers and ask them questions. Everybody does the friendly banner. Hi, how you're doing? How's your day going? Thank you very much. And you want to do that, but there's also more intentional kind of conversations you can have to gather information that you can help make better tools to do your marketing. Does that make sense?
Yes. All right. Thank you. So, welcome back to the relationship again. So, because so, for example, but take notes. Now, but so that the child went da um customer and somewhere from my counter. Things to be finger to that. So I flash the face. That's how we get Shiva. But customer very nature party my shiny. Mwalenga tubaishie the. Thank you.
Thank you. So, and I know you've talked that you had a whole session on value propositions and why you're different, but it's hard to talk about marketing. In fact, it's almost impossible to talk about marketing and not talk about what are your differences, highlighting your differences, because that's what people are buying, right? If you're no different than everybody else, then it's hard to make a sale, particularly if they know that other person. If they know all those other white eggs out there, why would they buy from you? You have to stand out. You have to find a way to stand out in marketing, and that's about getting your value proposition. When we talk about your signage and your story, we start weaving your value propositions into that and your differentiators.
All right, thank you. So rather than that, see, value position when you must be perfect. So rather than that, see, it's very impossible when the marketing that I'm landing for party value. Then value position to end at the folks anyway. So value marketing. Chanya for sana ndo mwalanda pachinto chomutele kwenu koze mutechaste wonsenga mufechi mochini bati mwala bengasha chimuntu ashita mtu mwala kwatinga nimsa nako. For example, your picture material am just very white. Anyone can buy anything, right? But in that one, it's what I'm saying, it ready. So that's what the sabun use. So it will be a mwalanda posana so that people watch the kudi. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know your market. I don't know where you are. But I would bet there's more than one person selling rice. I would bet that there's more than one person that has a salon. There's more than one person that's selling chicken, more than one person selling spices, right? So the challenge is, how do I become that red egg? If somebody's looking for chicken, they come to me. They don't go to all those other places that they can get chicken, right? So that's what you want. You want to create that kind of interpretation of your business. So paying attention to what's different about you, up to including sitting down and making a list, writing it out and saying, what's different about my business? Could be your location. Maybe your location is closer to where people live, or maybe it's closer to where people work. And that becomes part of your marketing story, where you say, stop by on your way home from work, or stop by in the evening because our location is conducive to that. Maybe you have hours that are or could be different from all those other white eggs, right? Maybe you have hours that you open a little bit earlier, or you stay open a little bit later, or maybe during lunch hour you're a little bit better staffed, right? What can you do about the hours of your operation that maybe make you a little bit different? You know, what about your pricing strategies, right? If everybody else is selling chicken one way, can you bundle it in some way? Can you bundle breasts and legs in some way and create a different pricing strategy? Can you guarantee, right? You know, can you say to yourself, I guarantee you're satisfied, or I'm going to give you a coupon, or I'll give you some kind of something in return, where you're saying to them, nobody else is guaranteeing it, but I'm guaranteeing my product. Maybe you have promotions. Everybody else is just selling their spices, but you have a promotion that says on Tuesday, you can get our specialized spice mix for 10% off or 50% off. You have some kind of a promotion that's bringing people in. Delivery can be a difference, right? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But if somebody says, my arms are full, I can't bring it home, maybe you could come up with a system where you're delivering it. If all the other white eggs don't deliver and you do, you've created a difference. You know, the turnaround time, how fast you are at the exchange. You know, if some of the other some of the other places take a long time to do something and you're doing it quicker because you're faster, you're smarter about it, that can be a differentiator. And the flip side of that too, like a salon, some people might want a longer, more leisurely kind of salon experience. And if all the other white egg salons are real quick about turning people over, get them in, get them out, and you've got a more leisurely approach, that could be a differentiator. Your quality, again, if you buy from a certain farm or you have certain places that have a great reputation, you want to talk about those kind of things.
All right, thank you.
Another long list. I know sometimes I do short ones, sometimes I do long ones. Sorry about that.
So better than that, ukulanza pachintu chokusale kuna batusale eshiro mwingira abantu baishe. So better than that, temo mleshisho kumesha mweka hivi yanotoa watu saluni temo there is moment and spices but challenge sana kwa nini occasion so abantu tukala beba sobera upesa kwa kwa somo tani allocation ikipa kazi kwa nini anekitebesula kwa kama chanja nai ma places kasi mtu maisha sana kwa investment na kwa abantu another medicine so fine was not for promotion. Abantu abaningi mubudde kwesibajja because time function amapromotion very bimanga mwasha abantu mwasitereza pali free na pali cheap ndio baba mishibira mwini oh get around imokati if yenu mwashtana nkanye epofika le state ya na mtabashana abantu bashani because of that imokaba ni quality isuma sana tetilingane yabana ntreni abantu mabala lokuthe ngokuthi kwa penende kwa senga ni mama sprite inende kwa senga ni ntero because saba chinai as long as not kusanya it make you different right whatever can make you different you can use it to make it more and your business. Thank you.
Thank you. If they're looking for one homework assignment out of this, I would challenge them, get a piece of paper or something and just make a list of why am I the red egg, right? Why am I the red egg? And just brainstorm or make a list of some of the reasons why they're different from all their competitors. So that would be the one homework assignment I would challenge them with.
All right, thank you. So, madam, after my Sunday, the two women have got a party. We carry my wood paper in me. Mulembe. Then they had a shell, I say. No, I'm going to balance any day. One of them will be now wearing a chapato to finish mix and just and base you. James Sanya performing the few pavans and one to my shepherd so that I want to my product here. Thank you.
Thank you. And just to sort of bring this together, right? We've talked a little bit about what marketing is, making a connection and the journey to a customer, right? We've talked about doing some research, talking to our customers, observing our customers, seeing what we can learn. And we've talked about highlighting our differentiators. So how do we bring that together? Right. And we call it here, we call them marketing campaigns, or we call it the marketing process, where you want to maybe think in terms of 30-day cycles or 60-day cycles, but you commit to some kind of a marketing process. You say, you know, this is a signage I'm going to use. This is the lighting I'm going to use. This is how I'm going to do my displays. These are the questions I'm going to ask my customer. You don't want to be changing everything all the time. You want to commit to a process for, let's say, 30 days. And then you want to be intentional. You want to observe, how are they reacting to that? Are they talking about your signage? You know, ask them questions. Did you come here because of our sign down the road? Or did you get a flyer? Are they showing you a flyer that they got from another customer? Observe, or another business. Observe what they're doing. You know, survey them, ask them those questions, be intentional, and say, what brought you in here today? Did we take care of all your needs, right? Use your marketing tools, right? Use your marketing tools. And as customers visit, you want to track success, right? You want to get some sense of how many customers came in this month since I've implemented this new campaign versus how many came in last month. Because if you're doing marketing and it's not improving your sales, do something different, right? So, you know, you want to create a process. You want to observe your customers. You want to talk to them intentionally. You want to update your marketing tools. You want to keep it in place for 30 days or so. You don't want to change it all the time. You want to track success. You want to know if it's working. And then you repeat it for the next 30 days or next 60 days. And you just keep doing that, you know, every month for the rest of your business, right? That's what you do, is you're just constantly trying to identify customers, bring them in, make the sale, learn something new, identify customers, bring them in, make the sale, learn something new, and you're constantly tweaking your marketing process. Does that make sense? I feel like I babbled there a little bit. Okay.
All right, thank you. So, badala ndati mpira kwata standard insurance. Insurance kwati mwe mwena matusheni ofunde chitakere chindana kira potashi. Because badala ndati ngamule chita marketing ndiro lombata mwe tapadi fide chita. Mutipadi fide. So tikwata mwakwate chinonje kutero mwachinda mairo mwachinda tapadi matometi patani echo mulekonga. So timwabalira ko chita mwaba muna abantu ishweleka. Mwachita sabe kushe mware kushabantai after mware kusha mwara boke kubati abantu beshi bepatinte combination angwafika birai then mwara chitana nkani mwara muna customer ngabaisa mshoma customer ngabaisa ishbale kwaye then sta mwana muna mshimfiri mwana mukatiri umakatiri ngoko testing what's the so that yeah they are fantastic because we're making sure that every the market you can create in the method which is very good. Pero can as you can very wide. Nala station not preventing very wide. Which time is litigation? Thank you.
Thank you. So just my last slide here, I thought I'd share a quote. Peter Drucker is kind of a famous marketing person. He's done a lot. I think he's dead now, but he did a lot of marketing and training over the years. And this is his quote. Just one of the things. Don't take my word for it. This is coming from a world-renowned marketing expert. The aim of marketing is to know and understand the customer so well that the product or service that you provide fits them perfectly and sells itself, right? You want your rice and your spices and your chicken and your salon work. You want it to almost sell itself because it just connects and resonates with the customer so well. That's kind of the point of Drucker's quote here.
All right, thank you. So that's the to feel that I'm making sure that one shall customer. Then one shall not show quality. Next shall never fits in. Actually, like know and understand that your customer fits the same thing. We share each to each we on this while approaching them fitting a just understanding. Before the mindset, customer was freedom more Chiramu fitting or fitting and putting a product on the. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's all I had in terms of the formal presentation. Hopefully that was helpful.
Yes, very much.
Are there any questions? Do they have any questions I might be able to answer?
So when the five person back on that, I'm a question the five person so much to understand this so that we're going to shape. All right, so Selection Ampasa says that she has no contribution, but she would like to say that she has learned so much of what she didn't know. And now that she has known, she is going to apply everything she has learned and hope to see change in a salon business.
That's great.
Anyway.
You know, I have a question. When we talk about marketing tools, what are the women using now for marketing tools? Do they do anything like flyers, or have they given thought to display or anything? Are they doing anything now? Is there anything that's successful in your market?
So, the business So Evelyn says, for everything that you've said, they are not doing anything at all. The only thing they do is go to their store and display their products without consideration of like how they put them in a way that will get customers' attention. They just do it. But now that they have learned, they hope to change and mind everything that they'll be doing, even when it comes to displaying their goods.
Yeah, start giving some thought to just, you know, I used to call it customer eyes, right? We look at your store from your customer eyes. And when you walk up to your store the next time, don't see it as the owner that sees it every day, right? That you look at it through the eyes of a customer. What are they seeing? And you start noticing things like, boy, I never noticed that trash over there in the corner. Or, boy, I never noticed that chair needs painted. Or, boy, you know, the A on my sign's a little faded. Maybe I can touch that up. Or when they walk in, do they feel crowded because there's so much stuff? You know, use your customer eyes to look at your facilities. That's marketing. That's helping you connect to your customer. And then do some of these things we talked about. Ask them questions intentionally. You know, everybody says good morning and good night and thank you. How was the day? Hey, it's raining. Still do that, but also be intentional in the way that you're talking to folks. So it can't help but make the business better, in my opinion.
All right, thank you. So, Miranda, Pira mwana kusaidia swali. Tule mwene pintu kwa tuko customer. Ngani mwasema jinga customer na ngira mwana kani. Chishala lenga testing. Tatwambu kula tontonkanya mu kuibika mposition ya customer. Tokaza nga fresh. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, you know, I didn't know I was going to be the last cohort, the last training for the month. I feel honored to do that. And I just, you know I've just known you for 45 minutes now, but I'm proud of all you. I mean, you're sitting there, you paid attention to me, you were smiling. I don't know if you were laughing at me or you were enjoying it, but you were all smiling. And that was good to see. I know it's hard to do what you're doing. I don't care what country you're in. You know, it's hard to be an entrepreneur. It's hard to wake up every day and do what you do. And oh, by the way, be a mother, or it's tough. And you all are just I'm just proud of you. It's exciting.
All right, thank you. So Miranda, sibatokera sana tabacha sana kushala sibatokera sana mwachana kwa paying attention. Then okusomera mwachana so tabeshi weka mwachana mwachana. That's it. Thank you. Now we move back to what find the new child. So he's proud of you now that he was an abasakati. All right, thank you very much. It's been a very insightful session. I think for me, and one of the most things that is never talked about that I bought was how we never question people that don't buy from us. Most of the time we say feedback is very important, but we want to get feedback from people that have bought from us, which meaning for them to buy from us, they have been happy with everything. But what about those people that didn't buy from us? So I think for me, it's very important that we tend to look at getting feedback from people that don't buy from us, because they can give us more information on the things that maybe we need to improve. I think feedback should also be a focus on people that don't buy from us. And it's never talked about. We always want feedback that have bought from us. Hey, you bought from us, thank you. So what can you say? And we ignore people that don't buy from us. And we should, I think it's very good that you've encouraged us to also question people that don't buy from us.
Well, and that can be an important part of marketing. If somebody's leaving the store and they didn't buy anything, and you ask them, why didn't you buy anything? They might say, well, I didn't see my size, or I didn't see my color, right? And maybe you can make the sale and say, I did have that. Let me give it to you. But you take that information and now you look at your store and you say, maybe I do need to do a better job of putting signage up that show the size or show the flavors or show the different whatever it is. So getting information from people who didn't buy from you can really help you in your marketing, which is pretty much exactly what you said, but yes.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you all.
All right, thank you so much, Emma, and thank you, Steve. So, Steve, you can stop sharing your screen so I can take a group photo of everyone.
Okay, I will stop sharing.
Okay. Emma, please put the ladies together.
There you go.
Okay, let me see those smiles.
Yeah, you're all laughing at me, I can tell.
Okay, I got it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Steve. That was absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. We've learned various models of marketing, but I don't think anyone ever mentioned dressing as actually one way to practice marketing. But I think that's really one of the top ways for women at their level to be able to practice marketing, because if, for instance, we have someone in the last group who makes sweaters, and so if she's adorned with her sweaters, beautifully knitted, definitely people would say, oh, I love your sweaters, where did you purchase them? And that she's, oh, I make them myself. She's just advertised her product. So that was really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Happy to help. Good luck to you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
God bless.
Have a wonderful day.